Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be sharing my top 3 in each category. So I filmed this video last year, but I thought it was time for an updated one because some of the products have rotated out. Some of them are still the same, but definitely some new top 3 products. The original creator of this video idea is Julia Adams, so I'll have her channel and video linked down below if you want to check her out. Absolutely love her. But we have a lot to talk about today, so with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into the video. Alright, so going in order of application, starting off with primer. I'm gonna start off with my latest favorite. That is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have mine in the shade number 3 Fair. You guys saw me test this out in my recent testing new makeup video, and ever since that video I've been using it pretty much every other day because I'm still working on some primers in my project pan, but I've been absolutely loving it. Something about this primer, I mean, it's like a highlighter as well. It's like a lot of things. It's a multi-use product, but I mainly use it as a primer. So I'll put it on the tops of my cheekbone. I'll just put it where I want to glow a little bit more. So specifically the tops of my cheekbones and like on my nose, a little bit on my forehead and on the chin, just like the high points of my face. And for some reason, every time when I wear this, I just love how my makeup looks. I love how my base looks. And my second primer is the Pixi Beauty Priming Oil. This is the primer that I'm currently working on in my project pan. Although it's a little bit scary to put like an oil before your makeup because that could just be so slippery, and when you have oily skin, that's even more scary. But this one, I feel like it just gives you the hydration to have an easy makeup application, and that's what I love about it. Like, I don't find my skin to be overly like oily and dewy at the end of the day. Like, I'm wearing it right now underneath all of my makeup and I have no issues with it. It really just gives my skin the ultimate hydration, and I love that. So this would be another primer that I've been loving recently, and I've been using it like every day. But as for my third primer, I actually don't have with me on right now because I did finish it and I don't want to repurchase it just yet because I want to go through some primers in my collection before buying a new one. But that primer I'm talking about is the Hemish Artless Glow Base. Absolutely love that. If you want glass skin, that is the primer to use. It's absolutely stunning. But now onto foundation, the base. I actually have no foundations here. All of these are tinted sunscreens or tinted moisturizers, and who would have thought that in 2022 Judy would only be liking tinted moisturizers. I mean, I still love a good foundation, but I mean, my top 3 was so easy to pick for this category, and they just are all tinted products, which I don't know, I just kind of love that much more. But we'll start off with like the oldest one, and it kind of looks like this right now because I did cut it up because I am finished with this product. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. You guys have heard me talk about this so highly for the past couple of years that it released. I just love it. I just love how it makes my skin look. It was one of the first tinted moisturizers I used, and it made me fall in love with tinted moisturizer because it just evens out your complexion ever so slightly, and then I can just go in with my full coverage concealer and kind of get the same finish at the end rather than going in with a full coverage foundation, because that would just add on to the cakiness. This pretty much was the start of it all, and now that I'm completely done, I definitely would repurchase it. I just love how it looks on the skin. I don't have any issues with it breaking me out or clinging onto any dry patches. Like, it is just a really great tinted moisturizer. It's affordable, and honestly the whole Pretty Fresh line from ColourPop I absolutely love. Next up, I have the Cosmetics Daydream Cushion. I wear this shade Gentle Light, and again, just absolutely love this. I mean, obviously I love everything that I'm going to mention in today's video. It is my top 3, but I use this so frequently and I definitely need to get a backup. It's just Cosmetics shipping just shot up recently, and it's just a little too expensive right now, but I'm gonna ask some friends and see if they want to like split shipping with me and get a refill of this because it is just so good. Like, I wear it all the time whenever I'm going out and I just need my skin to look good. This is what I'm falling back on. It also has SPF in it as well, which is great. It's a great bonus. I don't rely on the SPF on this alone. I just love how my skin looks every time I wear it, so this would have to be another favorite of mine. And then lastly, this one is the newest one into my collection, but it is the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Tinted Sunscreen. It is what I'm actually currently wearing on my skin right now. This one I feel like just has a little bit more coverage than the ColourPop and Cosmetics one, but it is still light coverage, but it's just a little bit more coverage than the other two I mentioned. And I just think overall, I just love how my skin looks, love how my skin looks today. And this one does have a really good like yellowy undertone to it. Overall, love all three, but also love the Tower 28 Sunny Days Tinted Sunscreen. And now moving into concealers. This is a category that I could rank. Every other category I'm just mentioning my top three in no particular order, but for concealers, you guys know my absolute favorite concealer is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I love the shade Almond. It's the shade that I'm using every single time I do my makeup. Like, this is my go-to concealer. It's the concealer I fall back on because it has really great coverage and it has a really great undertone. The shade is really nice for me, but it doesn't look so heavy on the skin. It just blends into the skin perfectly. And although I know there's so many great concealers out there, I don't know why every time I try a new concealer, like this one just hits different for me. Like this one just, I don't think I will ever replace this concealer, to be honest. Like, it is just that great. This is my third bottle, gonna buy a fourth bottle for sure. It is just my favorite concealer. It does everything that I want it to do. Then for my second place concealer, this one is really good too. I really do enjoy this one. It's the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I wear the shade 3.20. This one is a little bit more hydrating than the Too Faced one, which I love because I have super dry under eyes, and the coverage is great on this as well. But I don't know, something about this doesn't hit as hard as the Too Faced one, but it is still an amazing concealer, hence why it's in my number 2 spot. The only thing is that this does have a really weird scent to it. And then number 3 is actually a corrector, not a concealer, but I thought, you know, it falls in the same category. This is from Sigma Beauty. It's their Spectrum Color Correcting Duo. I use the shade light to medium. Absolutely love this. It is seriously so lightweight on the skin that it doesn't disrupt your concealer going on top and like adding on to the cakiness, just because it's so thin, so lightweight, but it does an amazing job of just brightening up your eyes, and I love that. I am wearing it underneath my concealer today. It is just an amazing brightening color corrector. Now for powders. The first one I have is from Egg Lips. It's their Blur Powder Pack, and I usually take this with me on the go just for touch-ups, or you know, throughout the day when I'm filming for a long period, my skin does get a little bit shiny or a little bit oily. I'll just go in with this powder, touch it up, and I just feel like it blurs out my skin and makes my skin look so smooth, and that translates really well onto video and onto photos. So this one is just like my go-to powder. I'm surprised I haven't hit pan on this yet, but I think the pan is coming soon. But I literally use this all the time. This is always in my handbag. It's so small and tiny as well, which is great. So this is like my go-to powder. Before loose powder to set my face in, I'm currently using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Poreless Finish Airbrush Powder. Again, it just smooths out my skin, and it's just a very lightweight powder. So this is something I definitely would repurchase as well, but I do just want to explore more powders first. But I've been loving this one. I use it every day. And then the third powder, I'm sure you guys can see how much I love it because of the huge pan. This is the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. Look at that pan, guys. Like, if that doesn't tell you how much I love this product, I don't know what will. But I use this to set my skin down around my brows. I'll use it to set my pores down, just to set my face. A little touch-up powder, you could say. It is very affordable, but it's also very effective, hence why I love it. If anything, the packaging, it always just breaks, so that could be fixed, but nonetheless, love this powder as well. And then onto brows, the most tedious step of my routine, but I have these 3 products that make my routine a little bit easier for me. So the first one is a brow pencil, and this This is from the brand Little Ondine. I more so like this brow pencil for the shape of it because as you can see, it is very flat. When I'm just using a regular circle brow pencil, I can get my brows to look a little bit thicker some days, some a little bit more uneven, or some a bit thinner on some days. But with this brow pencil, I find that my brows have been looking pretty consistent ever since I started using this, because maybe it's because of the flatness of the brow shape of the brow pencil. It makes it very easy for me to get precise and just create straight lines, and that's what I love about it. So not necessarily the brow pencil, although it is amazing. I do like the formula, it works well. It's not too waxy on the brows, and that's really important for me because I don't like a waxy brow pencil, because with my brows I'm drawing like directly onto my skin, so I want something a little bit more like powdery almost, so this is amazing for that. And then for brow powder, I of course have the Anastasia brow powder duo. I'm currently using the shade Granite, but this I just love. Like, I discovered my love for it, and I'm kind of just like, I'm gonna ride or die with this brow powder for the rest of my life, because I actually had one of these since high school and I used it for 6 years. I used it all the time. I hit pan on it, but I thought that like, okay, it's been 6-7 years, it's time to let that brow powder go, and I did. And I started using a different brow powder, and then I just was like, no, the Anastasia one really is the best. I know it's so simple, like a brow powder, but the Anastasia one is just, there's a reason why Anastasia is known for the brows, let's just say that. And I repurchased it again, but in a darker shade, and I just can't go back. I am using a different brow powder from Jason Wu just to pan it up a little bit, like I do project pan, but I do use this on the side as well. Like on days where I want my makeup to look really good, then I'll use this brow powder. Like, it is just, you can't go wrong with an Anastasia brow product. And then for brow gel, I have the M Cosmetics Brow Cream in Brunette. This is just my favorite brow gel, brow cream. I love it because of the really skinny, thin wand. I feel like a lot of brow gels don't have a wand like this. They are very like small and stubby. And when you have very sparse brows, a brow gel like this, it just makes it so much easier to be more precise with it, and it does hold up my brows really well in a non like obvious way. Like, it's very natural. I actually don't use this as often these days, just because I don't know, I've been liking my brows without any brow gel. But if I had to choose a brow gel, this one is my favorite. Like, this is the one I recommend, and I just don't know why people are not talking about this more. Like, why is this not the #1 brow gel? Because it's literally the best. And now onto eyeshadows. You guys know I have some staple eyeshadow palettes that I have been talking about for years and years, and I still love them. But these are my top 3 currently. These are the ones I have in my top drawer alongside next to my Project Pan palette as well. So we'll start off with these two. They're from the same brand. I love them and I've been using them both. So these are the Unleashia Glitterpedia Eye Palette. So I have number 3, all of coral pink, and then number 2, all of brown. So I first got the coral pink one first, fell in love, and I will say that this one is the one I use the most if we're like gonna compare the two. And I just love pink shades. These are very light tones and they do have glitter in there, so if you don't like glitter, you probably won't like this palette, because like I think there's like 3 glitters out of the 9 shades, and I love that. But the tones and everything are just so pretty and just so soft and like romantic, and you guys know that's what I love. Soft, romantic, rosy tones. Just give it to me. And then this one is a little bit more recent one that I got. I have like 3 of these palettes now, but the olive brown one is really nice too. It's a little bit more neutral, but I love it as well. If I want something a little bit more soft and like more, I don't know, warmer rather than like pinky, I'll go for this one. Like these two, I just like bounce back and forth. Sometimes I'll even use both of them together, which I do that a lot. The third palette I have is from Too Faced. This is their Born This Way, the Natural Nudes palette. I have been using this one so much as well, like on my days off or just when I don't have like a look to film for YouTube. This is beautiful. Like, I stick to like a lot of the lighter shades here, but I love how I again have that darker brown so I can smoke out my wing. I love the metallics in here too. It is very like natural, so if you want like hard out pigment, then like these 3 palettes are not gonna, I mean they're pigmented, but they're not gonna be like, you know, one swipe running down my whole arm pigment, you know what I mean? It's just very soft and romantic. So if you like soft and romantic shades, soft and romantic colors, these three palettes are just the vibe. And now I have some eyeliners. So like I said before, the Unleasher for me is just the it brand right now, and I love them. This is another product that I love from them. This is their Pretty Easy glitter stick, and as you can see, I'm collecting. I have a problem. I have 6 shades here and I love all of them. I feel like they just come in so handy. As you can see, I have some in the old packaging, some of them is in the new packaging. My favorite shade, well the shade that I use the most often that just suits my makeup look is, what number is this? Is number 2. I think it's called Flutter. This one is just a really nice light champagne color. Absolutely love this. But today I'm actually wearing number 6 Wee Hours for the purple. Like the little glitters here, it's so pretty. But this is a really great way to get glitter on your eyes and that little sparkle and twinkle without adding in pressed glitters. So if you don't like pressed glitters, maybe try this because it's just in a pencil form and it just adds that little sparkle onto your eyes, and it's so pretty. I can't get enough of glitter, guys. Like, glitter is just everything right now. And then I have this cream gel liner from ColourPop. It's in the shade Peach Fuzz. I talked about this in a recent monthly favorites of mine where I've been using a peach eyeliner in my bottom waterline to open up my eyes. So we have seen white, we have seen nude in our waterline, but have you seen peach? When I mentioned it in my favorites though, a lot of you guys were like, yeah, I'm already using a peach, and I'm like, you guys are one step ahead. But if you don't know, or if you haven't tried a peach eyeliner in your bottom waterline instead of a nude, instead of a white, try it out. Let me know how it is, because I feel like a white, we all know it's a little bit too stark. You can use a white if you want that like dolly eye effect, and then we all use a nude, but I feel like a nude is also a little too like impactful sometimes. But as a peach, where it has like a peachy pink undertone to it, it kind of matches your natural waterline color, but it just enhances it a little bit more. And that's what we want to do. We just want to enhance some things. We don't want to like change anything. I mean, I kind of changed my entire eye look today. Not using it today just because this look was very specific, but most days I am using this peach eyeliner to just open up my eyes and my bottom borderline. It doesn't have to be this one specifically from ColourPop, but ColourPop is very affordable. It works. It's a pretty peach color, so this one is number 2. Then for number 3, I have some liquid eyeliners. These ones are from M Cosmetics. They're illustrative brush tip eyeliners. They also have it in a felt tip, so if you prefer a felt tip, they have that option, but I do prefer a brush tip just because the brush tip is a little bit more flexible and you just have more movement with the brush. I have it both in brown and black, and again, I need to like repurchase this. Like, I need to make an order on M Cosmetics. Like, their products are products I will repurchase, where it comes to the cushion, the brow cream, their brow pencil I love as well, their eyeliners. Like, I need to like stock up on my favorites right now. So this one is another favorite of mine. Like, love these. They are very comparable to like Asian eyeliners, but in the Western market that maybe are a little bit more accessible to purchase. But then again, M Cosmetics shipping is pretty pricey right now, so I'm actually gonna ask my friend tonight if she wants to split some shipping with me. They are very pigmented, very smooth, they glide on, last all day. Love both of these, black and brown. Don't make me choose. And then the next category is mascara, and I am just gonna be a little party pooper here because I only have one mascara that I'm gonna share. Well, no, actually I could mention 2. I could mention 2, but I don't have the other one here. So for me, this is the only mascara that I really do love, that like I see such a huge difference every time I use it, and this is from Hemish Cosmetics. It's their Smudge Stop Mascara. I love everything about this mascara, and okay, before you guys start going into the comments saying you should try this mascara from this Korean beauty brand, and I'm like, girl, I know, but I can't because they're not cruelty free. So if you are cruelty free as well, and you want to get a Korean mascara, the Hemish one is probably the best we're gonna get, but it's like a really good one as well. This makes my lower lashes look so good, okay? Like, no other mascara will make my lower lashes look this good, and this is coming from an Asian girl who has very short lashes. I have no hair on my skin, guys, so my lashes as well are very thin and very sparse, but when I wear this mascara on my lower lashes, they're there. I almost feel like this makes my lashes grow. I don't know what about it, but these days when I see my lash, I'm like, it looks a little bit longer. It really does. But this mascara is amazing, guys. Super affordable as well. I just love it. This is my third tube, by the way. Like, I purchased another one really recently, so it's my third one. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And then my honorable mention, my second place one would have to be the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. Also really love that. Super affordable as well. I just don't have that on hand with me, but I do prefer my Hamish one more than that. But that one is still a really good option. Now we're moving on to the cheeks, starting off with a bronzer. I'm gonna start off with the one I've had the longest, and that is my beloved Kaleidos Charisma Contour Palette. I wear the shade Warm and Medium, and if you guys watch my Project Pan, you won't be surprised on how this looks, but this is what it looks like. As you can see, it is pretty much completely empty. I just have a little bit of product in that middle shade, which is a contour shade, but I'll put a photo up of what this actually looks like so you guys can get a better idea. But as you can tell how much I love this little palette, because I love the bronzer, love the contour shade, and there was a highlight powder shade, and as you can see I've used all three. Absolutely loved all of it. This is something I definitely would repurchase, and also this is actually not too expensive either. I think it's about 18 US, and considering that I used all three shades, I think this is going to be the first palette that I finish up completely. So worth it. And the next bronzer we have is a cream bronzer. This one is from Cosmetics. It's their So Soft Contour Stick in the shade Terra. I've been using this every single day. I mainly just use it on my jawline just to kind of slim down my face a little bit and just get rid of this double chin of mine. But this does blend out so well. Like, you don't need a lot of this. I take it on a brush and use very, very little, but it will blend out like a dream, just like the name says. It is so soft. It is so soft to blend out. It's a really nice like neutral tone. It's not too warm, not too cool. You can bronze with this or you can contour with it, but right now I just contour because I don't actually use a lot of bronzer. Like today I'm not wearing any bronzer. It's just all blush. I'm only wearing this on my jawline, but there are days where I do want a good bronzer. So with that being said, this one is a very, very new one. Haven't talked about it on my channel yet, but I love it. Okay, I've only used it like twice, but I do love it. And it is from Cosmetics. This is their Corselet Sculpting Powder Bronzer in Slip. The way it just blends onto the skin is so seamless. It's like a different kind of formula for me. Like, it's just so different. Again, I've only used it twice, so I'm still trying to gather my thoughts on it, but when I have used it, I loved it. Like, it's a very nice buildable bronzer, so you can't get carried away with it, and I think that's why the name is Corselet, because it just really sculpts you naturally. Then moving along into blushes, one of my favorite categories, I'm starting off with a cream blush. So this one is from Dose of Colors. It's from their Valentine's Day collection, comes in this really cute heart-shaped packaging, but the shade is called Passion, and I use this as a base underneath my blush just to get things going, because this is a very, very natural looking blush, and I don't know why, I just like using it underneath all my blushes. I'm not wearing it today, but I have been like pretty much every other day, and this one is just seriously such a pretty shade. Like, it's just so natural. Like, if I was to naturally blush, this is what it will look like, and the formula looks like I'm naturally blushing. But I would say my go-to blush combo right now, like the blush I'm wearing all the time when I'm not filming any looks like this, just, you know, out and about doing daily Judy things, these are the two blushes I am wearing together. They are both from Too Faced. It's the Love Flush blush in these shades I Will Always Love You and California Love, and they both are satin blushes, so you don't really have to go in with a highlighter if you don't want to, because it already gives you that glow, and that glow is so pretty. And then the other shade I have here is called California Love. This shade is really beautiful on its own as well. It's a very like beigey neutral blush, so if you were doing a very like bold eye look and you just want something like easy on the cheeks, I would recommend this one. It looks stunning, but for some reason these days I've been loving the two mixed together. Something about it, like, it tones down this one a little bit, gives a little bit more beigeness to the cheeks. I don't know what it is, but I love these two together. These two blushes are so pretty. Love them individually, but when they're together, also very pretty as well. So this is like my go-to blush combo. Like, I use them together all the time. And the last blush I have is more of a recent one. So this one is from Auckland. It's their Soul Mane Sunlight Love Blusher in the shade Sienna Luster. They released about 6 shades in this collection, and I was surprised that this one was my favorite because I thought I was going to like the matte blushes, which I do. But this Sienna Luster shade is the one that I use so often. It actually is very similar to the Too Faced I Will Always Love You blush. Like the effect that it gives and kind of the shade, definitely good comparisons, but the Auckland one definitely has more glow. So if you want extra glow, you love like a satin glowy blush, this one is so pretty. Like every time I wear it, I'm just like, my cheeks look amazing. Let's move into highlighters. Since we were just talking about the Auckland Soul Mane blush, let's talk about the Auckland Soul Mane Moonlight Feel highlighter. I've been loving these highlighters. Today I'm actually wearing the shade Lavender Dreams, which is a shade that I'm actually picking up a lot for more of my colorful look. I mean, all of the shades are so pretty, but I will say the shade that I use the most often is Warm Sunshine. And out of the 6 that they have to offer, Warm Sunshine is probably the most wearable, just because it's like a nice like golden shade, like with a white flip to it. Duochrome, so depending on where your face is hitting, it's gonna hit a different shade. And like I said, I'm wearing Lavender Dreams right now and I love it. But to take it back to the OG highlight of mine, it definitely will be the Dose of Colors Desi x Katy Fuego highlighter. I had this for years. One of the few highlighters in my collection that I've hit pan on, and it is actually the highlighter that's currently in my project pan right now. Not only the formula is beautiful, like it goes onto your skin, like it just melts into your skin, doesn't emphasize texture, but the shade, the color. I love a light champagne gold highlighter, and this is it. It is discontinued though, because obviously this collection came out like years ago, but I still love it. I'm still using it. I think I've mentioned this in like almost every kind of favorites video that I've done in the past few years. So for the third highlighter, this one is from M Cosmetics. It's their Sunscape highlighter in the shade Clarity. M Cosmetics just does everything so well. Like this just looks like the sun is like directly hitting on your cheeks. It looks like golden hour is here 24/7 on your cheeks. It makes your cheeks look so good. I can't. It is like a baked highlighter, so it does give you that very luminous sun-kissed glow. But alright, onto the last category of lips. My lip products are always changing. They are always on rotation, but as of right now, these would be my top 3 that I'm using the most often. So the one I would say with the most often is this one from Alicia. Again, my It brand. This is their non-sticky dazzle tint in the shade number 5 Nice Step. This shade is a beautiful peachy color, but also the formula is just very comfortable. It gives my lips that shine, but it's not too overly shiny, if you know what I mean. Like this just looks so amazing on the lips. Like I wear this like all the time. Like I can see through the bottle. I'm like halfway through, almost halfway through. And the next one I would have to say is the ColourPop Glowing Lip in the shade Let's Jet. I'm actually wearing another shade right now, but Let's Jet is the one I probably wear the most often. You can see that it has the pigment to cover up my natural lip color, but it gives like a really nice glow and hydration to my lips. And I love that. So ideal for everyday wear, like perfect. And then the last lip color is from Tower 28. This is their Shine On Lip Jelly, and I have mine in the shade Spicy. And I know it's a spicy red. Like who is wearing this? But you can even see through my bottle. Like I finished up like a third of it already. This I love. I will reapply it a little bit more just because I did drink some water. It did fade. I love applying it to like the inner third of my lip for a gradient lip, and it just makes my lips look so plumped and so juicy. The gloss is not so sticky at all. Like it literally, it's so hard to describe. It's such a unique formula. Of course you could use this as a normal gloss, but I love it as like a gradient lip for some reason. Alright guys, so those were my top 3 products in each category. What do you guys think? Did you expect some? Were some a surprise? Let me know down below, but also let me know your top 3 products generally right now. Like what are you absolutely loving? I would love to know. And who knows, it might enter my top 3. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. I love you so much, and I'll go ahead and see you guys in my next video. Bye!